So we're back once more, hopefully the final time, because this game's about to end. Penn State up 63-7 on Delaware. Getting the ball back on offense, another handoff. Perbula still on at quarterback. As he hands off to Tank Smith. 38 Tank Smith in the ball game. Good for him. About 5 minutes to play, and then we'll give a short recap and then call it a day. So be sure to tune back in next week, and hopefully we don't have this issue then. I don't even know what I was saying, let alone where we were at in the game last time it did it, because it's done it too much today. Getting pretty annoyed. It's frustrating, to say the least. But just once more, thanks for tuning in and watching. It's just a continuation of Delaware Penn State. And the line's up 63-7 on the Blue Hens. Yeah, about 5 minutes play, like I said. 3rd and 3 coming up. Penn State had the ball, scored. Remember, as Perbula gets another Penn State first down. Delaware punted once more. Penn State's getting the ball back here. They've had as many punts as they've scored points. Missed a 46-yard field goal. 2 turnovers. We'll see if Penn State scores again. They do. I highly doubt it, though. They might, though. We'll see. Up 63-7. From the 44. 1st and 10. Tank Smith. Almost enough for a first down, it looks like. Delaware has 2 timeouts. We'll see if they call them or not. I doubt it. They know the game's over. I think they've known the game's been over for a while. So just get out healthy. No injuries, as I've been saying. And then I got a lot of work to do on the end of all this to edit this and edit that. That would normally be done for the stream as it, begins. Maybe 1 or 2 things later, but now it's everything at the end. With it just boom, we roll on. So I think I was going to name off some stats. With Perbula and at quarterback, he gets cut up on the left elbow. So now Jackson Smolik in the ball game at quarterback. He's bleeding pretty bad too. Shit. All right, 1st and 10 Penn State with the 3rd string quarterback and 14 Jackson Smolik in the ball game. And he'll hand off Tank Smith to the 35-yard line. He goes, under 3 to play. Smolik will not throw it. They'll just continue to run the football here. It's a first down, run the clock out. If they score, they score. I'm sure some people want them to score 70, even though they've already covered. And hit the over by themselves. So 2nd and 4. Handoff to Tank Smith again for about a yard. And so, Smolik got in for 2 plays. Here comes Bo Perbula back in. Yeah, he cut up his left elbow. You can still see there's a little blood on his wrist. But they got it cleaned up and wrapped for him, so he's good to go. Under 2 to play here anyway. He's probably not going to throw anymore either. So 3rd and 3 are running again here. I doubt they'd kick a field goal. They'd go for it on 4th down. Perbula looking to throw, but he's going to run. And he gets another Penn State first down. So he's a running quarterback for one. He doesn't pass a touchdown day, but 2 rushing touchdowns already this season. He can scramble and make a play out of nothing if he needs to. And that's what I've said before. Like, if they need to, not knowing how it was going to work out leading into last week, if they need to, because they did last year, if they need to, let alone want to, run a 2-quarterback system, they can. And I think this even shows that more. Tyler Holsworth in at running back now for about a yard. So a minute to play. Penn State's going to beat Delaware here, 63-7. Yeah, I was going to talk about some stats. That's exactly what I was going to talk about. So we'll just wait here, give you some final stats and scores, give you some thoughts, wrap it up here real quick. Hope to see everybody now next week for Penn State, Illinois. So let's snap it once more here on 3rd down, but then that should do it. Hey, West Virginia, if he's running up the score, he's going to be throwing on this play trying to score. Okay? No. You guys just flat out couldn't stop the fucking run late in the game, and Penn State scored on you. That should do it. Handoff. And as the final 10 seconds will tick off, Penn State will defeat Delaware 63-7. 3, 2, 1, win. Penn State improves to 2-0. Delaware falls to 1-1. Delaware will host St. Francis from right down the road in Loretto next week at home. Penn State travels to Illinois next Saturday. So I'll have live watch-along reactions live here on YouTube of that next Saturday at high noon, so be sure to tune back in. 63-7, your final score. Penn State covers at 42. They hit the over by themselves. So, the Nittany Lions victorious. As they'll sing the alma mater. But, I mean, of course, from the get-go, from the start, you figured this much was going to happen. Just didn't know the score. But shout out, credit to Delaware, wish them well. They're one of the top teams in the FCS. They are. Just, you know, they're playing a Power 5 school. University's getting paid for the football team to get beat. That's how it goes. That's the business of it in that regard. So, yeah, Penn State wins 63-7. James Franklin interview. Okay, starting quarterback Drew Aller rather than Franklin. See what he has to say. But Delaware's quarterbacks total 6 of 17 for 58 yards passing and an interception, which was a pick 6. Delaware also had a fumble. Penn State scored on that drive. Delaware rushing as a team, 24 carries for 82 yards when their starting running back had 6 carries, 86 yards rushing in the 66-yard score. Because the other running back had 5 carries, 15 yards, but then their 2 quarterbacks, negative yardage on sacks for a total of a negative 28. Starting leading receiver, 2 catches, 32 yards. Penn State on the flip side. Drew Aller, as he gets interviewed, pulled early third quarter after finishing 22 of 26 for 204 yards passing, a touchdown. Also had 5 carries, 27 yards rushing, and a quarterback sneak as well for a touchdown. Katron Allen led the way for the Nittany Lions today, 19 carries, 103 yards rushing, and a touchdown. Nick Singleton, officially 12 carries, 47 yards, and a hat trick for 3 touchdowns. Trey Potts had 7 carries, 59 yards rushing in the second half. Bo Perbula, 8 carries, 46 yards rushing as well, and a touchdown. Tank Smith, 6 carries, 29 yards rushing. And then Holsworth had 4 carries, 4 yards. So as a team, Penn State had 60 carries for, give me a hell yeah, 316 yards rushing today against the Delaware Blue Hens. So as they sing the alma mater, we are Penn State. They'll ring the victory bell here in a minute. Keandre Lambert-Smith led Penn State in receiving for 6 catches, 74 yards. Tyler Warren, 6 of 37, a touchdown. Theo Johnson had 2 catches, 14 yards, so they got the tight ends more involved. Thank God. And may no act of ours bring shame. Dear Old State, for the glory of Old State we are. But Dante Cephas had 2 catches, 36 yards. Harrison Wallace had 3 catches, 26 yards. Nick Singleton had a catch for 18 yards out of the backfield. Christian Driver had a catch for 8 yards. Malik McLean had a catch for 7 yards. Omari Evans had a catch for 5 yards and a touchdown, even though he was questionable. Liam Clifford, 2 of 2. So they got everybody involved. They were clicking on all cylinders. They able to run the football extremely well for over 300 yards. Aller threw for over 200 and a touchdown. Also had a rushing touchdown as well, as did Perbula. So both quarterbacks had a passing and a rushing touchdown each. Penn State as a team rushing 60 carries, 316 yards rushing, and 6 touchdowns on the ground. I'll give you info next week once I find it. The last time Penn State as a team ran for 6 touchdowns in a game, because I think it's been a while. As they sign off on Peacock, that'll do it for Delaware and Penn State. The first ever Penn State football game streamed exclusively on a streaming platform rather than on cable television. Penn State did have a fumble. They recovered it, though. Had a fumble on defense, ended up scoring. Had a pick 6, so that helped out as well. 4 sacks as a team, 1 by Zane Durant, 1 by King Mack, 1 by Jalen Reed. Make that 5 sacks. I counted wrong. 1 by Zane Durant, 1 by King Mack, 1 by Jalen Reed, 1 by Zariah Fisher, and 1 by Jameel Lyons. Still nothing really in the return game. Maybe a 5-yard average. Falcons, seemingly your starting kicker now. No field goals, but he was 8 of 8 on extra points. Santos Haydak, 1 of 1 on extra points as well for the 9 total touchdowns. As 9 and 7, of course, is 63. Delaware had 7 punts for as many points as they had. Penn State defeating the Delaware Blue Hens 63-7. See if I can get some team stats in general. Here we go. Penn State had 33 first downs today. They were 9 of 15 on 3rd down, 3 of 3 on 4th down. Had 541 total yards, with, of course, 316 of those on the ground, the other 226 through the air. A total of 25 of 31 passing for 226, and then 60 carries for 316 yards rushing at 5 yards a pop. They did have 7 penalties though today. That was the downside to today's win. At 7 penalties for 55 yards, when last week they only had 1. Clean that up. No turnovers. They created 2 on defense, scored on both, and controlled the clock extremely well. 42 minutes to 18. So Delaware, on paper coming in, and on paper during, and on paper after, Penn State defeating them 63-7. Blue Hens, unfortunately, didn't really have a chance against 7th ranked Blue and White Nittany Lions. So we'll see, where they go from here. Of course, they play at Illinois next week, 12 noon kick on Fox. They'll have live watch along reactions over on YouTube then, so be sure to tune back in. But like I said, we'll keep it short and sweet for now. I don't want stream to abruptly end on myself. But hey, a win's a win. I think, to celebrate, we should probably all go rolling up in honor of AC and maybe go eat some peanut butter fudge today. I don't know. But that'll do it for myself, your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Kool-Aid and Luke, 96, live right here on YouTube for Penn State's victory over Delaware, officially 63-7. So once again, thanks for tuning in and watching. Sorry it's in different parts and pieces, like a total of probably 6 streams, I think, if I counted right. Yeah, that'll do it. So be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Hope to see everybody now next week for Penn State and Illinois, as today the Nittany Lions defeat the Blue Hens of Delaware. Hey, let's go Brandon, 63-7, your final score.